very thoughtful question from one of our viewers regarding the cryptocurrency market and its potential trajectory, particularly focused on the possibility of reaching the $10 to $12 trillion market capitalization milestone. The question raises a lot of curiosity about the future of crypto, and more specifically, how this impacts key assets such as Cardano and Knight. Now, before we dive deeper, I want to make a brief disclaimer to ensure everyone understands the context of this discussion. This content is for informational purposes only and should not be considered financial advice. Investments in cryptocurrencies are highly volatile and involve significant risk. Please do your own research and consult a financial advisor before making any decisions. Past performance is not indicative of future results. With that out of the way, let's explore what's happening in the crypto space, why Knight has been somewhat overshadowed lately, and what potential developments could mean for investors and enthusiasts alike. So, let's start by addressing the current state of Knight and the broader market dynamics. As many of you have observed, the overall crypto market has experienced a downward trend recently. Prices across the board have been declining, and Knight has not been immune to this pattern. When the market initially began its momentum at the start of the year, Knight did not quite follow the surge that many other tokens experienced. Instead, it was somewhat left behind while other coins gained traction. This underperformance, however, does not necessarily indicate weakness. Rather, it highlights an opportunity for strategic accumulation and long-term positioning. Observing the price patterns, Knight has seen a significant dip, reaching lows of approximately 4.4 cents before currently stabilizing just below 5 cents. From a personal investment standpoint, these levels represent strong buying opportunities, and those who were strategically positioning themselves for accumulation likely found these dips ideal for entry. Indeed, observing Knight's recent movement, there are several technical indicators signaling a potential bullish reversal. The stochastic RSI has shown a daily flip, the MACD is on the verge of crossing over, and the RSI itself is flirting with a similar positive signal. These indicators collectively suggest that Knight is beginning to demonstrate renewed strength, potentially setting the stage for a meaningful upward trajectory in the coming weeks and months. In addition to these technical signs, it's important to consider the ecosystem within which Knight operates, the Cardano network. Historically, Knight has sometimes moved independently of the broader market trends, but going forward, its performance may increasingly align with developments within Cardano itself, as well as broader crypto market movements. This is an important distinction because it means Knight is no longer entirely isolated in its price movements. It is increasingly responsive to systemic growth and strategic initiatives within the ecosystem. On that note, an important reminder for all holders, within the next 40 to 45 days, there will be an opportunity to claim the next allocation of Knight tokens. Keeping track of these timelines is critical, as these allocations can influence supply dynamics and potential market behavior. Furthermore, significant activity has been observed among Cardano whales, who are currently accumulating both Knight and SNAC, the two largest tokens within the Cardano space. The concentration of whale activity indicates confidence in these assets and suggests that the foundation for a future surge may already be forming. Even though prices have experienced downward pressure recently, these strategic accumulations by large holders reflect a long-term perspective that could translate into substantial gains once the market begins its next upward cycle. The potential for Knight to reach new all-time highs is very real, especially given its current market capitalization, which hovers around the $1 billion mark. Compared to many other assets in the crypto space, Knight remains relatively low in terms of market capitalization, offering a high ceiling for growth should the market dynamics play out favorably. Now, considering the broader picture, one might wonder about ADA itself and its potential trajectory. Hypothetically, if ADA were to bottom at around 28 cents and then surge toward $10 by the end of the year, the implications for both investors and the ecosystem would be monumental. While such a scenario may seem ambitious, it is not entirely outside the realm of possibility. Several catalysts could drive this level of growth. the successful launch of Midnight, a project that could significantly expand the utility and adoption of Cardano, strategic partnerships that increase market interest, or the implementation of Hydra, which could elevate Cardano to one of the fastest blockchains in the space. These developments, coupled with general market enthusiasm and new capital inflows, could generate a Solana-level moment for Cardano, fundamentally reshaping the landscape. Of course, these outcomes depend on a confluence of factors, including continued adoption, investor confidence, and macroeconomic conditions. The crypto space is inherently unpredictable, and while the upside potential is significant, it is important to approach these scenarios with cautious optimism. Looking back at market dynamics during previous cycles, it's clear that much of the expansion was concentrated in Bitcoin, Ethereum, and stablecoins like USDT. Other assets did not see a comparable surge, in part because the liquidity supporting these assets came from the same set of investors who participated in previous cycles. During uncertain market periods, investors tend to flock to larger, more established assets for perceived safety, which explains why altcoins, including Knight, may not have experienced the same upward momentum. At the same time, the market has not seen a massive influx of new liquidity, further constraining growth in the altcoin sector. Examining the USDT dominance curve provides insight into these patterns. When USDT dominance rises, it reflects a flight to stability, often during market downturns, whereas declines in USDT dominance coincide with euphoric phases when new capital floods into the market. Understanding these patterns is crucial for positioning Knight and ADA strategically within the broader crypto landscape. In terms of timing, many indicators suggest that the market may be approaching a bottom, with the potential for renewed capital inflows and adoption in the near future. Regulatory clarity, increased institutional participation, and tools like 401k crypto allocations could all serve as catalysts for broader market expansion. The combination of these factors, technical signals, ecosystem development, whale activity, and potential macroeconomic catalysts, creates an environment where both Knight and Cardano may be poised for significant upside over the medium to long term. While patience remains essential, the underlying foundations for growth are increasingly visible, suggesting that strategic positioning today could yield substantial benefits in the months ahead. Ultimately, understanding the interplay between market dynamics, technical indicators, ecosystem developments, and macroeconomic influences is key to navigating this complex landscape. Knight's current position, both in price and market capitalization, combined with its integration into the Cardano ecosystem, positions it uniquely for potential growth. Investors and enthusiasts should watch for accumulation patterns, technical crossovers, and broader market trends, all of which may signal the start of a more sustained upward trajectory. Meanwhile, keeping an eye on ADA and the larger crypto ecosystem can provide additional context for how Knight may behave as part of a broader market movement. Strategic awareness, patience, and careful monitoring of these multiple factors will be critical for anyone looking to capitalize on opportunities in this evolving market. And finally, if you found this detailed analysis helpful, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel so you can stay updated with all the latest developments in crypto, Knight, and Cardano. Your engagement helps us bring more in-depth insights and keep